Hey, Ace Phoenix here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The video you're about to see is what I submitted for King Me Rise of a Drag King Challenge 3 Trashy Couture. It is all of my process shots and some of my inspirations for it, and walking you through all the detail that I had on my outfit. Excuse me, it was an outfit. Um, I put about 50, a little over 50, if not way more than that, possibly, hours into creating this outfit and down to every detail from weaving paper and VHS tape to molding my own shoes to making a top hat out of a beer case. It didn't get shown much really at all in the video, and it didn't get publicly critiqued, so I really just hope that you take the time to watch all of my video and appreciate all of the effort that I put into this. I'm really proud of it, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Hey, it's Mr.Ace Phoenix from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, Trashy Couture. I went with more of a vintage kind of Trashy Couture with my own um, punk spin to it. And I wanted to stick with the traditional men's high fashion and just create my abstract version of it, again, with a little punk twist. So I used garbage bags, newspaper, old news city newspapers, and yeah, that's it. So this is all newspapers and garbage. Oh, and VHS tapes. Yeah, I used VHS tapes to make these little strips, and on the back to make those strips. Alright, so my shoes, as I showed in some other process shots, were all made out of newspaper, cardboard, did a little electrical tape around the seams, used some plastic dip on the bottom to give them some durability, duct tape as my fasteners. I tried to draw a little bit of a dress shoe on them, but they're relatively durable. It was paper mache originally for the mold. Then pants are contractor bags that was sewn, and then I decaled it with some ornate kind of scrolls of newspapers that are also city papers, the same intertwined up top. The top I started by weaving 3 different sheets. I was trying a full paper sheet and a paper VHS sheet, and then thinner strips of each. In the front for these, as I also have some process stocks for it, I rolled them, tried to give them like a thicker, more durable, easier thing to weave with. For this, I had the VHS tape, the thin, and then the weaved down paper, and then on the back is just the thin strips of all of them. Garbage bag for my lapel, and everything was also sewn through a sewing machine too. And what am I missing? Top hat was out of a beer case and paper mache and some VHS tape around, or electrical tape around the top, and then did some scroll on the side, this side, other side, this side. And bow tie was origami and VHS tape with a Velcro fastener as my ribbon. And then on the back, whenever I wanted to keep like that punk, nice checkerboard, I was loving it. And then I also did a crossword with my name on it and the other 2 words. You can use your imagination and figure those out on your own. It's been a long week. I'm getting over the sickness that felt like the plague for the past 2.5 weeks. But I'm starting to get more lively and feel more like myself. So, we're in Monkey Land. There's this awesome place called Construction Junction here in Pittsburgh that is all constructive reuse materials. And there's also one of their other stores called Center for Creative Reuse that also uses all kinds of found crafting materials. And so, yeah, this is Monkey Land. Oh, my bracelet was also part of the weaving that went on the back of my jacket. I just wove some extra chunks, and then I was like, well, I need some accessories. So, hey, little checkerboard bracelet takes me back. I also have a cummerbund me get... Also did a cummerbund out of rolled over and seamed trash bags to hide, to help hide my binder if anything was gonna show, and because, hey, you know, high fashion, we got my little cummerbund hanging out here, you know. It's kind of like a spin of a punk, new age, trashy couture tux with, yeah, I'm digging the little hardcore edge to it too. Alright.
I'll take you for a ride on a garbage truck. Oh no, I'll take you to the dump, 'cause you're my queen. Take you uptown, I'll show you the sights, you know you wanna ride on my garbage truck. Truck, we'll pass the mansions by, drive right through the needle's eye. Oh my, I got a stereo, you just gotta turn the knob, and baby we'll go.
So for this challenge, I kept my makeup relatively simple. The research I did, a lot of high fashion, couture and male models, did not have anything too elaborate. I didn't want my outfit for Trashy Couture to come across too much as a costume, and I also wanted my makeup to match that. I wanted to feel more like a runway model than as if I was actually like wearing some elaborate costume. And I was doing a lot of research on high fashion couture. It was mainly that things are more fitted, and as I said earlier, I was sticking with a traditional kind of vintage feel. To go with the vintage feel is where I chose my materials, which was the old newspapers and VHS tape and trash bags that have been around since who knows how long. I kept it simple with the materials. In the last challenge, I mentioned that costuming wasn't always my strong point. So let me just say that this was by far the most intensive challenge that I've had yet. It's one thing to costume with crafty materials and fabrics, but to not exactly be a costumer to begin with and be creating a costume out of nothing but trash was real. It was intense and frustrating at times. But I had this vision from the beginning that I thought it would be really awesome to take materials and just kind of interweave them. And then when I did some other research, I was kind of getting ideas of what high fashion couture is more like. So I didn't want to go with a completely traditional vest or traditional coat or anything that's too much of like a suit style. But I wanted to make my own spin and let my vision kind of flow through. That's why I was like, I need this long kind of, like I need like an abstract suit and add my own spin into it with the checkerboards, and that at the garbage bag material kind of almost ended up looking like a leather or pleather, which was pretty cool. But as I said in the last one, is one of the funnest things that I find about costuming is that you work with all these different mediums, and you don't always know what you're getting yourself into, and then you learn how those mediums work and how to work with them, and your concept, you can have a concept, but then it's like your design of that and your execution can alter slightly. And that's why I started by the 3 different types of weaved materials, because I was like, I have no idea what weaving paper is going to be like and how sturdy it's going to be, and the VHS tape with the paper, because I wanted to do VHS tape for a while, and then I saw somebody else had a really awesome VHS tape suit, Vince. So I left my own spin on that, and then once I had these 3 different kind of sheets of my own made fabric for my materials, I started molding with them and seeing how they would go. And I was like, I kind of like the look of them all being together because the one has a little of both. The other was more the VHS side, and then the other one was the paper. And I just wanted to kind of let them weave together in the costume. So everything was made in the Dragnado that is now my downstairs. I have an art room, but for some reason, sitting in a room listening to nothing but music while you fold little crinkles of paper and weave paper for hours on days on end did not sound fun. So I sat up in the living room and watched TV, mindless TV, while I'm making all of these. And be the change you wish to see in the world.